We have the Andromedans with us today, and they help us to feel more into our multidimensionality, but in a way that I have never done before, because normally we feel as a human into all that we are and can experience oneness or connect to our higher self or whoever we connect to and feel more that expansion. This, what they did was like, you're not, okay, your perspective is not your human. That's just one fractal that you are. Your perspective is coming from there and then tune into your human. I love how they switch it around, which makes it so much easier to feel part of that multidimensional being. You feel part of all the other lives and expressions of yourself that you have at the same time. So absolutely wonderful. And they say this time is, as I channeled last week, it was, this is our time, this is now. And they say the other way of dealing with feeling more into all that you are is different, is shifted. So they help us with shifting that. So stay tuned till the end. In the end, they have really a practical thing that helps you to bring that more into your life, because that's what it's about. Just watching this video and feel the energy and feel the upgrades of it is wonderful. But how are you then bringing that into your life? That's, I think, the most important thing. So stay tuned, and if this is something you like, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free, and I love to hear how this has landed for you. I'm connected today with the Andromedans, the extraterrestrials that I have never channeled before, know very little about. I asked for this session to come through what we Starseeds need to hear at this time, or need to learn, or need to work with, or upgrade, or whatever it is, to come through, and they came through. I already connected just before this video, and here they are, and their energy is, it's hard to describe. It's a collective. I can't tune in on one person. I can only tune into the collective, and it's a very balanced, calm and light energy. And it makes me smile because it feels like you had a great day at a super spa, and you had an amazing massage, and you're there laying in a bubble bath, and you feel, you have arrived. Everything is just perfect the way it is. Let me allow them to speak through me, using my mind, my language, my knowledge of English. Someone commented the other day. That is how it works with a channel, at least for me. I know for many others. Thank you for allowing us to speak to you, beautiful human. Or let us say beautiful being in a human suit, because you're so much more than that human. We like, when we speak to you, to speak to your wholeness, to the word you like, multidimensionality. We speak to all of it. Exactly as Ella said, she can't not tune into our energy and feel our individual energies. That's exactly how we feel when we tune in to you, and you that is watching you whenever you're watching this. Because we know already who is going to watch this. Welcome. So we're speaking to your multidimensionality. I'm, as Alice, thinking, that's the first, as I know, because we're always very much busy with the human. Okay. Yes, and that is not for nothing that happens in this moment in time. Because, as you know, last week you channeled the White Brotherhood. And they said, now the time is now. And that's why the message that we have now, or the talking to your multidimensionality, is what is happening in this new time. You're no longer just the human. You are present here on Earth with all that you are as a multidimensional being. And don't you ever think, and we say that with a lot of love, that you are just a human. Because when you think you're just that human, or maybe you don't think it, but you identify so much with being that human, that you also identify with your struggles and your limiting belief and all that, that is of lower frequency. And we love that you play that game because it's fascinating. But just know that in no moment in time is that is what you are. So know that that is just a fraction of the play that you're playing here on Earth. And we love you for playing the game. You're good sport. You played the game all along. But now is the time to change the rules of the game. And we love you to tune into your multidimensionality. And this is a time with the beautiful energies on your planet, where the veils between the realms and your expressions of self are thinning. So it's much easier to connect with those. And no, you don't, because we hear you, or we hear you asking, or at least one of you, but more. But do I then need to know all these other lifetimes? No, you don't. Do I then need to do, that was the question, QHHT or any other, or with a psychic, or find out more about the other life so I can work on my traumas there or integrate more, whatever that is? No, you don't. That's the beauty of these times. You just embrace. I know we say just, it might not feel as just for you, but it is just. You just embrace all of that you are. Imagine you have this, as much as there is as much as there is sunlights, is good, I was saying in between, as Alice is like, oh, that's a good analogy. Sunlights, you might think of as a child draws a sun with sun rays. Think of the sun with all these rays coming down on Earth. You don't see him. You only feel that when you stand in the sun outside, you feel the warmth on your skin. You don't see all those as such, but you know it's shining everywhere. You, for that matter, feel only you're human. And you know there's more expressions of you in other dimensions, other lifetimes, or other timelines. We're not going into those details, because that's not relevant. But you know it is there. So you don't need to know what is happening there. It's just an understanding that is happening at once. But didn't I have a past or a future? All is happening at once, and you know. There's no past, there's no future, there's no time as such. And space, for that matter. So beautiful, the energy. Can you feel that? I love to hear from you in the comments. You can feel that energy as well, or is it just me? So beautiful. Tune in for a moment. It's almost yummy. Like, ooh, can I have more of this? And they are like, but we're here, we're with you. Why do you want more? Why do you? It's interesting, they're going to address this. Isn't it fascinating, as a human who is bathing in our energy, wants more of it, already thinking that it will be over soon, and not having it, and then wants more of it. While in this moment in time, you have all of it. And you start thinking in lack. And we love you for that. And they speak to me in this moment that I'm the one doing it, but that's what we do as humans. Be in the moment. So let's get back to that multidimensionality, because being in the moment is where it's about. Because in the moment, you are connected to all of that. It's just the concept of it you grasp first, and then the awareness of it comes next, the awareness is like, and we want to invite you to do that right now, is tuning into the energy of your multidimensionality. Just imagine the broadness, the wideness, the expansion of all that you are. And just tune into that for a moment. Not with the knowledge, not with your mind. You already have that understanding. You just spoke about it and you know about this. You haven't heard this for the first time. And here you are, just tune into that expansion. And tune into the energy of that expansion that you are. And feel that just now. Feel that beautiful expansion, that loving you expanding in so many expressions. And in some of them you have a hard time, and others it is light, and others you're a light being, you're extraterrestrial, you're Arcturian, you're Sirius, you're whatever you are. Just, you don't need to know again. Just tune into the energy of the overall energy of your expansion. And then now and then something might pop in your awareness. And just be aware of it. Just acknowledge it's there. And you keep on feeling into your expansion. This beautiful whole being that you are, of which your human is just a fractal, a loving, beautiful fractal, but a fractal nevertheless. And we say that so you can feel more into that what you are. You're so much more. So tune into more that you are, the expansion, with the human a fraction, and you have so much expressions. You are so much more. And no, it's not just your higher self. It is so much more. And the more, and that's the beauty of this, the more that you tune in to your multidimensionality, you're becoming aware of that energy, the more those other expressions of you becoming aware of that expansion as well. And that is how you connect. And that is how you create more wholeness, more oneness. First of all, for your multidimensional being, and then, of course, with all the others, and with all that is. But today we talk about your multidimensionality, all your expressions, which is what we see when we see you. We can't tune in to just your individual human. We can only tune in to your multidimensionality. And when we do that, it's a wide arrow. It's not the right word I'm trying to describe. It's this is how it looks. I don't know the word for it. It's a race of expressions of you. And sometimes there's some that lit up more than others because they're more important for you at this moment in time. But they're all visible. Because for us, you're not just a human energy. We feel the energy of all that you are. And that is how Alice tunes into our energy. She can't feel an individual being. It is a collective that she's feeling. So true. And we like to invite you to hold this awareness as often and as much as you can. It is not, and that's a very human thing, Alice talks about it a lot, the difference between awareness of something or a doing, an action, right? The act is sitting in meditation. We're not talking that you do meditate, but just as an example, the act is you sitting yourself down for meditation. And the awareness is then coming more, and the act is becoming silent and ignoring thoughts or however you meditate. And the awareness is then of just what is there in that moment. Often that is awareness of stillness and the expansion and your multidimensionality, although you might not use such words. So we like to invite you not to feel your multidimensional being in an action. It's like, oh yeah, now I'm going to feel, and what am I thinking, and how do I feel, how does it look, and very brainy. That's not what we mean. We mean tuning into the energy and more becoming aware. So you can say it's a mini meditation. And it could be when you're sitting in the bus, when you're having your coffee, when you're driving your car. It could be you doing shopping or while you talk to someone. Just being aware, just feeling it. And just do it right now as we speak. And Alice is doing it while we speak. Just tuning into that and just feeling that awareness. Oh yeah. It is almost, as Alice, may describe it, this is how I feel, and be aware I have my human, so I don't smack into something and I drop things because I know where my body finishes, where something else starts. Although from a metaphysic perspective, there is no such things, but hey. But here, when I become aware of my multidimensionality, it's as if I feel my energy is so much broader. I can still see the edges of it, but it's me being just a huger version of me, but energetically. And just that awareness of me moving around through life, will be very different. What I've been doing now, and I'm teaching that a lot, is more feeling into your higher self as being an energy around you. And I often talk about, imagine that being a pillar around you, and that's the energy of your higher self. And that's what you carry around with you. It's not really a pillar, but it helps our human. Although I realize now that's very much a doing, because we carry a shape, or we imagine that in a shape. This is not talking about that. This is more the becoming aware you are that energy. There's energy around you, I would say, but they correct me and say that you are that energy, which is obviously more than a human body. But the awareness of it throughout your day, that you are that energy. You, your higher self, and the embodiment, you as a human embodying more of your higher self, becomes then a broader energy. What this is, and this is different, this is not just only that, though that is it, but now your human is a multidimensional human. So the energy immediately becomes much wider and broader. And that they invite us to take that with us throughout our day. And I say that wrong and immediately get corrected. You're not taking that with you. It takes you with you, if you want to talk about taking. Yeah. And that's a really good way of describing it. The energy is all around you. You, your higher self, your human, your higher self, your multidimensionality, all your beings in all these lifetimes. All here in one energy. And it doesn't stop. I'm holding it like this. It's broader. It's like this, how I feel it. And it's not stopping there, of course. It's encompassing the whole universe. It's not limited to any space and time. But that's how it feels to me as a human. That's how I can hold. And they're saying it's nothing you need to hold. It is holding you. Let that sink in for a moment, because that is important. It is holding you, your higher self, your multidimensionality. And we, as we speak to you, we are holding you, your human. We are here holding you in this energy at this moment, in this space, if you like, at this moment. We are holding you, but we are not so important in this process because we will go. And we are, again, although you can call upon us, but we are not important in this process. It is you feeling as a human that you are being held and you are in that expansion. As often you as your human thinking you have to connect with it all and feel into it all and have a job, a task, which is actually the other way around. It is you allowing you to feel that you are being held by your highest expression, but also by all the other expressions of you. Dear one, you are being held. You are being carried through this life, and all the other expressions of you, you're all holding each other. You're all connected. You might talk of a veil in between, but you can imagine threads between all these different beings and expressions that you are. You're all connected, although you human might not be always so aware about it. So the veils that we then talk about or mention in between, there actually are no veils, but it's your human that is not allowing you, I wanted to say capable, but it's allowing you to see all that. Because if you're not of a certain frequency, it can be very overwhelming feeling all that and knowing all that and sensing all that. So what we're doing instead, feels or not, veils or not, that you being aware of it or not, it doesn't matter, because you don't need to. We just want you to feel that multidimensionality that you are. And feel that you are being carried with that. So what you do throughout the day, because Alice likes to be really practical, is not you imagining from your human perspective that all of that is around you. We want you to turn that around. We want you to feel. No, we want you to be aware, because you're going to feel a very active feeling and being very too much of a doing. We want you to become aware instead. So you don't have to do anything. It's just an awareness. It's much softer. It's much more subtle. You feel the difference when we say that, right? Alice is distracted by the time she wants to close the video. So Alice, please stay focused. Tuning in more. Yeah, you're right. So sense into, and this is our last word, so stay focused. Sense into. Become aware and allow all that multidimensionality that you are. And you just feel carried by it. One last thing we want to say about that. Have you ever been in a large community where you feel really connected and close with, the religion is beautiful for that, the community, the feeling that you're being held by your community, right? Or do you have another example that you were in a situation that you felt held, maybe in a concert? You were so much in the concert that you forget who you were. You were just one of everything. You were so much in the moment. You were being held by its energy. Or you're being in a game of sports or something else that all of you feel together. You're being held by it. You forget that you're the individual. Or do you have any other examples? Or your country won the World Cup in whatever, and you feel more one. Do you have an example? It might be a small group, but you forget your individuality and you feel you're part on, you belong to, you feel more one. That is what we talk about, that feeling. If you have never felt it, we just invited you already to feeling what we offered you here. We offered you, basically, to you. But feeling more of that, what you are, that expansion, that beautiful, absolutely gorgeous expansion that you are. And why we want to talk about why we wanted to talk about that. Because that is the way forward. From now on, you are more, and you were always that, but you become more and more aware of that. And we are just helped you today, supported you today in making that easier for you. So you don't resist it, and you don't have to overcome, and you don't have to suffer and feel that it's hard and all these energies, and just feel that you're being held. And we love you. And with that, we love to leave you being held at all times. Such a beautiful, warm energy. The Andromedans love to channel that. This is something that you liked. Let me know. And it sounds so earthy. Put a thumbs up. I mean, whatever. Whatever feels right for you. It was a brilliant and beautiful to do this together with you, and I felt so held, and I hope you did as well. And I will continue with this in my Starseed Living Facebook group, where we deepen this theme even more and support each other to stay in this energy for the week to come until there's the next video next week. So much love, so much love. I'm looking forward to see you in another video next time. Much love. Bye-bye.